Hey, what's going on? Hey, it's Matt. It is that time to do the off-the-water review of the NuCanoe Pursuit that I've been kind of testing out for the last couple of trips on the California Delta. Now, this was loaned to me by a gentleman by the name of Romel, and the kayak that I'm going to show you has a lot of modifications that he's made. But I'll go over the overview of the boat, kind of what I think needs to be changed, and kind of talk about the things that I really love about the boat, because I really do love a lot of aspects of this boat. But this is going to be an honest review, so let's take a look at the NuCanoe Pursuit. Okay, let's start at the back and kind of work our way forward to get a good overview of the boat. It's 13.5 feet long, 35 inches wide, and it weighs in at about 82 pounds. Starting at the front, as you can see, the front of the boat is super aerodynamic, and what this allows this boat to do is really cut through any kind of turbulent water, and it's super fast to start off. So that's the first thing that I'll say about this boat, is that I absolutely love the way this thing paddles. It's very easy to get it going and to keep it going, which is also a negative thing. For a boat this size, for it to be this agile and for it to be this quick, it's absolutely just a feat of their engineering and their product team. So well done on that NuCanoe. Right here is the front hatch, and if you look in, you'll see that there is a removable tray right now. The front hatch, in my opinion, could be a little bigger for a boat this size. I think they lose a lot of the space because of how aerodynamic the boat is and the point that it comes to. But you know, if you made it more of a snub nose, kind of like the Lure that I own, you probably would lose a lot of that speed and a lot of that, you know, quickness to get off the point and the mark. Coming back here, now this little part right here, that's actually custom by Romel. What you typically is under here right now is an open space. And if you look over here, you can see that open deck right there. That's what I was shoving a box of soft plastics in. And it really just held everything nicely. Now, Romel built this because at a time when he was using this, he put like his fish finder right there, and it made everything look really neat. But on a stock version, all that really will be there are two of these rails right here. There's one over here. Now, the great thing about this kayak, and one of the things that really had me a lot interested in it, was because there's actually a child seat that can go there. And being a father of a young daughter, getting her out on the water is kind of something that's been on my mind a lot lately. So that's one of the things that I'll consider for this kayak. Moving into the center part of the kayak, you'll see it's just a big, huge open deck space. And I talked about this in the last video. Having this much open deck space is fantastic. You can move around quite easily. And it gives a feeling of openness, and you know, you can throw things in front of you, and nothing gets in the way. So I love that aspect of the kayak. We'll move back to the seat real quickly. And the seat, what can I say about the seat? It's a high-low seat. Most of the Pursuits come with the standard 360 seat. This is not the 360 seat. I opted not to use that simply for the fact that I thought that I would lose some of my core paddling because there's not a lock on the seat, and so it swivels back and forth. But the seat can be adjusted quite easily with all these trails and all these like kind of like freedom tracks is what I think they call them. And so the seat can be positioned in any manner possible. Now, when it comes to transporting, one of the things that I really did like was that you could push the seat down and you can travel with it on your trailer, on the top of your car, quite easily with a seat like that. It won't come off. And like I said before, this is in the highest position. I kept it that way the whole time, but it goes much lower. Now, the back tank well is quite big as well. As you can see, a lot of space back here. Black pack fit quite nicely. Romel actually has this wired for a trolling motor, so that's one of the things that I'll talk about, one of the drawbacks of this kayak, in a second. But the back storage space is fantastic. This is actually an open hatch, and you can get access to the hull that way. One of the drawbacks of this particular boat though is there's not a lot of storage space for the size of the Kayak. So that's something that I probably would say needs a little bit of work on. What else did I really like? Well, the horizontal rod storage. I actually traveled to and from my destinations with 4 rods tucked into those rod holders. They were very, very safe, and I was never worried about them flying out. So that's a huge plus. Also, if you fish in super areas that's got a lot of trees, you'll be able to kind of just take those all the way down and through the cover that you're going under. Back at the back of the boat again, you'll see how NuCanoe has these things designed, right? Like, it's perfect to mount a trolling motor. Now, my biggest complaint about this particular Kayak is tracks very well, but once you stop moving in a forward motion, it needs a rudder. And that's kind of really what I want to talk about here, is that even though the boat is huge and tracks well, NuCanoe's really making these boats for people who want to put a trolling motor on their kayaks. That's their target market, make no mistake about it. That's why this Kayak has a capacity of 500 pounds. Other 13.5 kayaks, they don't go that high. They go usually around the 425 range. So NuCanoe's building this specifically for guys who want to motorize their kayaks. You can even put a little gas-powered motor on the back as well. So because you set that up that way with the stern of the boat having that kind of almost like ability to put a transom mount on there, you're taking the ability away to put a rudder in there. And this boat, in my real honest opinion, needs a rudder. So would I buy this boat? Well, to be honest with you, yeah, I probably would. Because the fact that they have the ability to put the child seat on there, that's a big plus in my mind. That's just because I'm a father though. It's about $1,700 and it's stripped down. At that price, you're not getting the deck padding, you're not getting the foot braces, and you're not really getting anything. You're getting a stripped down boat. So for the foot pegs and the deck padding, you're probably going to add on another 150 bucks. But this boat is highly customizable because of all the gear track on it. So that's a major plus in my opinion as well. So to answer short, I would consider this boat as my next Kayak. The speed and the way that it paddles, it's second to none for a boat this size. The stability on top of that is just fantastic. So that is my quick and dirty overview, off the water review of the NuCanoe Pursuit. Thanks for watching these things. Give this one a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.